They tried to present a united front, but the divisions created by Syria were clearly evident. Smiles from the 7 leaders on one side of the argument, yet the man who disagrees with them on Syria, Russia's President Vladimir Putin, didn't seem to be able to manage much more than a scowl. Like a good host, David Cameron, whose country organised this summit, tried to brush over the differences. He hailed a 7-point plan. 6 of the points, though, were things all agreed to by the international community before. The only new one will at least provide a boost to the humanitarian effort.
The conflict in Syria was the most difficult issue of all. The first priority must be to help those who are caught up in the conflict. And we've agreed almost $1.5 billion of new humanitarian support to help those who've been displaced by this conflict and who are suffering.
Russia's president was asked if he felt isolated at the summit.
No, not at all. And probably someone wanted to present it this way. But that wasn't the case at all. We had disagreements, that is true, but I never felt lonely. And Russia was never on its own.
Both the Western nations and Russia are clinging to the idea of face-to-face talks in Geneva. But in recent weeks, it's become pretty clear that neither the Assad regime or the opposition are prepared to sit around a table for proper negotiations until the international community is united and forces them to do so.
Jazeera English. Nice to meet you.
When Putin's deputy foreign minister spoke to me, he admitted achieving an agreement will be very difficult.
We would accept any outcome of this process if it is inclusive, if no preconditions are set from outside, if no attempts to impact it in a way that tips the balance are undertaken. I think so many ifs make it very questionable, but we see no alternative.
Before he left the summit, President Obama pledged to continue diplomatic efforts. But right now, a breakthrough seems a very long way off. James Bayes, Al Jazeera at the G8 summit in Northern Ireland.